Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening. What's going on? What's the word? If y'all ain't caught up with chapter 1153 of One Piece, keep it pushing. We got spoilers in here. Now let's get right into it. Actually, before we get right into it, we were this close to getting a Luffy versus Emu fight. This close. This close, man. This close. And this glorious fight was delayed from us just a little bit because Goblin mentioned Shanks? Flag on the play. Excessive dick riding. You telling me Shanks got so much motion, niggas could just talk about him, name drop him, and we gonna get a whole flashback arc? We could have got this shit after the fight. But anyway, we have a young Dory Bragi and Prince Harold. He has horn and is taller than the average giant because of that ancient giant DNA. We take our journey to the New World and the kingdom of Bant. I don't know. There is a giant woman from the legendary land of Elbaf named Ida, with a voice like thunder and footsteps that shake the earth. But Prince Harold is not entertained by this circus act they got going on. He's looking at it like they just taking his people and just turning them into freak shows. And he ends up destroying the town as well as the circus. Off screen, by the way, y'all. Y'all gonna call that man an off-screen merchant like y'all call him Blackbeard? Ida then gives Harold a good crispy slap on the face, tells him to turn the ship around and to apologize to the townsfolk immediately. King Harold's response basically is, man, I don't owe them little puny people nothing. But because bro was so thirsty to jump to conclusions, same people from that circus were the same people that saved her after a shipwreck and almost died. He gave her food, clothes, and then we gotta add on to it with some flaming. My girl Ida say, you're only that nigga because Oda drew you that way. And also, I would have thought that giants would have taken pride in that warrior personality. But Ida's the first giant that we've collectively come across, and she's like, you know what, I'm tired of being associated with all this barbaric shit. And it was those words right there that changed his whole perspective on everything. King Harold then demands his soldiers to go help the people at the land. Doing so, he gets overly involved in the people's culture, the architecture, the flavors, the spices, the fabrics, looking at it as a model. He's a sculptor at heart. I know King Harold was first presented as like a stoic, philosophical kind of character. But it was those words right there that made him into the man that he was. King Harold and the townspeople hitting that Nika dance. He also refers to the Red Line as the Serpent of Blood. Now we take the story back 105 years ago. King Harold is a fully changed man. The man's talking about going on adventures, expeditions, building connections with the neighboring countries, learning from new cultures, expanding his horizons. King of this legendary land with food and resources twice as abundant as, you know what I'm saying, some country, right? My man wants to learn from the human world. The elders in Elbaf cannot allow it because she's not pure blood. But the elders ain't so crazy to where they're like, nah, you can't, you gotta go, you man the kid. We are then introduced to another woman by the name of Estrida, woman of noble blood and ancient blood. The elders low-key might have thrown him a lob. And other than the fact that she's a noble woman, she seems someone that's real big on, like, you know what I'm saying, fortune and luck and magic and things of that nature. I could sit here and pull the biggest reach ever and associate all this stuff to the dark magic that we saw Emu display. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, nah, this ain't the same. King Harold stood on business with his expedition. He done messed around and chopped it up with the fish people. He just gave birth to a young Prince Neptune. The whole ocean was lit at this one. Estrida gives birth to a baby Loki. She done already talked with Harold. But the thing with Loki is, Loki doesn't look like your average baby. He has horns and the eyes of a dragon. Estrida's like, what the f? She's like, oh nah, this baby is not my child. This thing is not my kid. I don't know what this is. Baby Loki put his hands up, but nobody was there to love him. Yeah, no, I don't know what it is with Oda, but he has been giving certain characters a tough backstory, but golly, he was damn near up there with the Kuma shit, and he just dropped. Estrida gives birth to Loki, tosses him into the underworld, that she's never gonna give birth again and that she's going home. And while she's talking about the Loki prophecy, King Harold's struggling with the more diplomatic problems. The world government has a huge problem with his expedition, and this got my man's Harold stressing to the bone. He just talking to Hasrudin, go meet your little brother, man, he's cute. Bro's like, this is not my brother. And from that point forward, everything bad that happened in the land of Elbaf would be known as the curses of Loki. My man's is crawling out of the underworld as a baby climbing the world tree. And after that, his mom strangely fell ill. Thank y'all for rocking with me. I'll see y'all next week.